Hey everybody, we are back again. Today is Monday, August the 18th, and this is the College Football Focus podcast. I of course am Mike Waxman. We are officially in game week. Yes, this coming weekend on Saturday we have college football games highlighted by Iowa State and Kansas State playing in Ireland, but there are other teams going as well. We will talk more about that as the week progresses, probably on Friday, and we will have game picks for you on Saturday morning. But today we are going to talk about college football playoff picks for me. Yes, this is the time of year when people are putting kind of the rubber needs to meet the road, and so I am going to go on record with how I think that this year's college football playoff is going to play out. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, I have a graphic up. It's got the seedings. I will go over the seedings really quickly, and then I will get a little bit into the matchups. As the top seed, I have the Clemson Tigers. I have Penn State at number 2, Georgia number 3, Ohio State 4th, Texas at number 5, Notre Dame 6, Texas Tech. That's a little bit of a surprise at number 7, Alabama 8. Boise State, the group of 5 representative at 9. Some people might be surprised by that, probably assume that they are the 11 or the 12, but I do think Boise State is the 9. Oregon is the 10. And then we have Oklahoma as the 11 and SMU squeaking in as the 12. So those are the 12 teams that I think are going to make it in. I am going to work on the bracket and kind of progress one side and then the other side. So you're going to have your first round games. The 7 and the 10 is Texas Tech and Oregon. And that could be really interesting because you've got a team that has, for a few years now, been pretty much based on money. Oregon with Phil Knight, they have been just flush with cash. They've really picked up the recruiting game, and they have turned into an excellent program. They won the Big Ten last year in their first year in. And you've kind of got a new kid on the block in Texas Tech who has made all kinds of a commitment to NIL this year, and they have maybe the best roster in the Big 12. And I do think Texas Tech will be the Big 12 champion, which is why I have them 7. And remember, they are changing the seeding this year. A lot of people are wondering, why aren't you putting conference champ in the top 4? They're going to the straight seeding model this year. So this is going to be, you don't have to be a champion to be in the top 5. You can be just pretty much straight seeding. Whatever the committee thinks of you is where you're going to be. So Texas Tech and Oregon in the 7-10 game. And then in the 6-11 game, I have a matchup of blue bloods, Notre Dame and Oklahoma. Who does not salivate at the thought of that? Well, certainly in the 70s and 80s, that would have been a great matchup. Oklahoma, of course, is coming off of some rough seasons here under Brent Venables. I do think they are going to be able to get it going this year with a little better defense and John Mateer, and the offense should be able to open up. Notre Dame, of course, was in last season's national championship game, finished as runner-up to Ohio State. They also have some pieces to replace, but Marcus Freeman certainly seems like he is getting the job done in terms of recruiting. So those are two pretty interesting round 1 matchups. Certainly Notre Dame, Oklahoma is the one that will grab the headlines. I do think Notre Dame wins that one, so that would put them in the Sugar Bowl playing against Georgia. And I actually have Texas Tech. Some will see this as an upset because Oregon actually might be the favored team. But of course, Texas Tech is the home team. So I do think that they can pull that out, and that would put them into a bowl game against Penn State. That would be the 2-7 matchup. And then on that side, I do think Penn State is going to be too much for Texas Tech. Drew Aller and the backfield combination of Nick Singleton and Katron Allen and the defense, I think, is going to be able to kind of short circuit Texas Tech. So Penn State moves on. And then Georgia Notre Dame, we saw that last year, did we not? And Notre Dame came through. Gunnar Stockton obviously had some problems last year, was not able to get the offense going, and Notre Dame just kind of exerted its will. I do think the tables turn a little bit this year. I think the Bulldogs are going to be a better team than they were last season. Even though Gunnar Stockton is back, I think the defense will be better. I think that their receiving core is better. The only concern I have with Georgia is their offensive line, but they always seem to get that together. So I do think that that is something that they will be able to manage. So you will have Penn State and Georgia playing in one of the semifinals. And I do think that Penn State finally gets over the hump and ends up beating an SEC team in what should be maybe one of the best games of the entire CFP. So Penn State is on one side. On the other side, in the 8-9 game, Alabama and Boise State. Alabama, of course, is the consistent dynasty. Boise State is the kind of dynasty of the group of five. They have really made themselves known for years now, going back into the 2000s with some of the bowl upsets that they have pulled. Ashton Ginty is gone. They still have a very good team with Maddox Madsen. And I think that the reason that they are going to grab the G5 berth is because they play a good schedule. They do play Notre Dame. That's the only game I see them losing. I do think an 11-1 Boise State with a loss to Notre Dame, especially if it's competitive, like maybe a one-score game or a 10-point game, I don't think the committee will have any problem seeding them within the top 10 teams. So Alabama, Boise State in one game, and I do think that Alabama wins that one, and they will move on to face Clemson in the Orange Bowl. And then on the other side, I think that Texas and SMU, Battle of Texas, Longhorns will be facing Rhett Lashley's SMU Mustangs. They, of course, made it last year and did not make it out of the first round. Texas will win. They're just the stronger team. They, again, may top to bottom, may have the best roster in all of college football. They will make it as the 5 seed into the Cotton Bowl, where they will face Ohio State in a rematch of last year. And we know how that went. The Buckeyes ended up beating Texas in a pretty workmanlike game, then went on to beat Notre Dame. So you have Clemson, Alabama, and Texas, Ohio State. I have Clemson beating Alabama. I just think that Clemson overall is too good for Alabama. I think Alabama's defense will make Clemson work, but I just don't have a whole lot of faith in Alabama's offense. Obviously, by that time of the season, Ty Simpson will be a veteran, so he won't have to worry about kind of being a new face, newcomer anymore. But they've already got an injury concern with Jam Miller. Who knows how long he's going to be out? That means that maybe a little more work will be done by a couple of backups. So it's going to be interesting to see how Alabama's offense functions. I think their defense, though, was good enough to carry them into the playoff. I do think Clemson beats them. And then on the other side, I do think it'll be obviously a rematch of the season opener where Texas comes into Ohio Stadium. And I think the outcome is the same as it was in last year's. I think Ohio State wins a narrow game over the Texas Longhorns. And then in that one, in the Peach Bowl, I think that Clemson, just their overall team strength, is going to be enough to get by Ohio State. Clemson has a multi-year starter in Cade Klubnik at quarterback. They've got Peter Woods. They've got TJ Parker. They've got Avion Terrell. They've got Sammy Brown. They've just got a litany of guys on defense. They have an offensive line that is tested and is played together. Their only real hole on offense is a ground game, but that's one of the easiest things to kind of find as the year goes on. They have 3 worthy candidates in Jay Haynes and Adam Randall and the terrific freshman Gideon Davidson. So I actually have confidence that they will get that going. So Clemson will win that. And on the other side, we have Penn State. So it would be a matchup of the 1 and the 2. You may have noticed, for those of you who are watching, that I did not pick any upsets. That's probably going to be wrong. There probably will be 1, maybe 2. But I just see the better teams as the ones that are getting through. So I'm going chalk on this one. So in Clemson and Penn State, you have 2 teams that kind of have the same sort of profile. A lot of veterans back returning production, experienced quarterbacks, receivers who can make a defense pay. And on the defensive side, they've got some playmakers, guys who can really wreak some havoc against the run, and guys in the secondary who can make it difficult for receivers to get open. When all is said and done, I do think that Penn State comes up short in its quest for its national title and the Big Ten's 3rd national title in a row. I do think Clemson gets back to the top of the mountain. Dabo Swinney already has 2 national titles. He's been away from it for a little while, but I do think that this is the year Clemson scales the mountain again and sits atop the college football world when all is said and done. So Clemson hoists the national championship trophy, and Dabo can kind of tell his detractors who are on him about the transfer portal and on him about various things, hey, my way works. So that is what I think of the college football playoff, how it is going to work out this year. I've obviously seen various models that disagree with this, although a lot of people do have Clemson in the championship game. Some have them winning. What do you think about the college football playoff? Who is your champion? Who is your Final Four? And maybe who are some of your upset picks? I would definitely love to know in the comments. And if you can, please like and subscribe at the button right down below so that I can bring you more of this content. And during the season, again, we will be available. We will be having shows on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then Saturday mornings before the games get going. I will have my Saturday six pack where I give you 6 games that I will do selections on against my power ratings. It's not me necessarily picking games. It's going to be my power ratings picking the contest. So we're going to track that obviously all year, see how that does. And I think that that's something that you will like. If you want to throw some money on it based on my picks, go ahead and be my guest. I don't know that I would advise, but who knows? Maybe it will work out. Anyway, that is going to do it for today. We will hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you again on Wednesday, everybody. Take it easy.